Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be painting this little sketch house scene that I did. GenCrafts actually sent me a lot of their watercolors and paper to test out. So that's what I'm gonna be doing today. Literally, they sent me so many watercolors, and it's super cheap too. And honestly, I was not having high hopes, but I was pleasantly surprised by the quality of this paint. It was extremely pigmented. Anyway, so this is the scene that I'm gonna paint today. And along with this, I got these two brushes that you can store water in if you soak it. But for this, I'm just going to use a jar of water because it was easier for me. But as you can see, I'm starting with the sky, which I always start with, and the paint already is just really bright and pigmented. And I find with a lot of, beginner watercolor brands or brands that are a lot less expensive, that I feel I need to do lots of layers to get really rich and deep colors. And with this, I really didn't. The pigment was super saturated and well done. So also another helpful tip, a lot of times the colors that come in these palettes tend to be super bright. The greens I find are always this sort of really electric green, which depending on what you're doing can be good. But I paint more quote unquote realistically. So I actually want my greens to be not so bright and electric, because that's not how greens in trees and grass and plants actually look. They tend to be a little more brown. So here I'm showing that how I'm mixing all of my different green colors. So I tend to add lots of blues and definitely brown, Van Dyke brown or raw umber or burnt umber are all really good pigments to mix with your standard greens, so that it just creates more of an earthy color. Next, I always like to check out the pinks, because I don't mix with white with watercolors, so I want to make sure the pinks are really saturated, and these do a great job. And now I'm going to start adding some final touches the tree trunks, and I'm going to start adding my shadows. And for this, normally I mix my shadow color, but they had so many colors. They had a cool purple, a warm purple. I picked a cool purple to use for the shadows for this, and it looked like the purple that I normally use in my other paintings, and it was actually easier because I didn't have to mix it. So I'm adding some of the tile details on the house. Here is the final result. It's so bright and saturated, and it actually looks really good. This was just a quick 30-minute sketch that I did. I think it turned out really well. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, like and subscribe. Thanks.